The Hudson Hot Air Affair is celebrating its 20th year. It has evolved into the Midwest's premier winter ballooning festival. Balloonists from all over the area mark the Hot Air Affair on their calendar as a must-attend event. But its roots are humble.
It started with Rose Akins talking about she would have balloonists come to her place around this time of the year in February. And the conversation got started about maybe we should plan an event. There used to be cabin fever days in Hudson in February, and that had fizzled out. So the discussion was that it would be a good idea to start something up to give people something to go to in the winter when everyone's going through the blahs. Well, we do it in February because it's generally a very down time of the year for businesses, so it helps bring business into the community. It's also a time of the year when people are just feeling bored with being at home, nothing going on, and so we do it to bring people out into the community and bring business into the community and give people something to look forward to and something fun to do that doesn't cost a lot of money or anything. It's just something fun for the whole family.
Well, there was also a tradition of hot air balloons with the St. Paul Winter Carnival. And so we had a volunteer, Rose Akins, who happened to work for the Hudson Golf Course at the time, who was a balloon pilot and was interested in doing a winter festival and inviting some of her friends to come to town and play and have a good time. And so we combined what had been a strong base of activities and enthusiasm within the Hudson community with the hot air ballooning element that came from the Winter Carnival, and the Hot Air Affair was born. Rose did some checking back in that first year and found that the first part of February was the most stable time of the entire winter for weather. And if you're too early, you're going to have wind. If you're too late, if you're getting into March, you're going to have wind. And the first weekend in February was the most stable time that she found. And traditionally, for the last 20 years, of the 20 years the festival has been held, I think we've only been totally weathered out 3 times. And it was either wind, or one year we were totally socked in with fog all weekend because it was too warm. So there are extremes from both ends that can give you trouble at any outdoor festival, and 20 degrees is perfect for the Hot Air Affair.
Linda White and Evie Nurbin are 2 of the founding members of the Hot Air Affair Committee. It's a volunteer-run organization that works hard to put on a great show every February.
Just seeing the sky full of color and balloons and people all around just cheering them on, and that's what it's all about.
The work has paid off. This year, around 30 balloons kept crowds oohing and eyeing on the launch field. Balloons traveled from 6 different states, including Kentucky and Nebraska.
I've been coming now for about 17 years to this event, and it's kind of like coming back to family. It's almost like, Thanksgiving, going and visiting family. I'm telling you, this is an event that's always on my calendar. I definitely wouldn't miss this event. So it's as simple as that. It's a great time. We have a nice time. Normally this time of year, cabin fever, all that. It's great to get out and just play. It's a lot of fun. No mosquitoes.
The Hot Air Affair lifted off in 1990. The balloon styles haven't evolved much since then, but the landscape of Hudson has. This video is from 1992. Development in Hudson has taken off, and the Hot Air Affair has grown with it. Events like kite flying, ice carving, and the ever-popular smooshboarding race have been added. The Smooshbucklers, a long-standing smooshboard team, had the same rough reputation then as they do now. Their ingenuity in smooshboard design was also apparent back then, as it is now. A few years back, there was even a winter volleyball competition. Miss Wisconsin has visited, and balloonists from around the world have made the trip. Danny Suskin is a South African now living in the United States. Suskin has raced in the Gordon Bennett, the most prestigious ballooning event in the world. He was part of a gas balloon exhibition during the 1998 Hot Air Affair. The balloon was also featured in a Civil War reenactment that year.
It was a Civil War reenactment, and the balloon was used as an observation balloon, just as it was during the Civil War.
There have been a few years in which the weather just didn't cooperate.
People think, 10, 12 miles an hour, nothing. But to a pilot, it perks your ears up. And you always take on that added responsibility of taking passengers out for flights. And the last thing anybody wants to do is come away, not smiling at the end of it. So safety is always our number one concern.
It's the world of event planning. I've gone to Albuquerque to the balloon fiesta out there, and the balloon stayed on the ground. I've gone to music and art in the park in Hudson, and it poured so bad that people were wearing garbage bags. So anytime that the weather and an outdoor festival come together, it's anybody's guess as to what's going to happen. But Hot Air Affair has diversified over the years and created enough indoor activities and lengthened the days of the festival. In fact, having some pre-events in the month of January also. So that there's a lot going on within the entire community that you can participate in, whether or not.
Whether it's the Torchlight Parade in downtown Hudson or the Field of Fire, high winds can't dampen the spirits of the balloonists or the folks who come out to visit them.
If it was flyable, I'd be up in the air.